Welcome to the City of Hamilton's new Central Composting Facility. That's a lot of words to say what we do in this building, so let me explain it. It all starts with you and your family helping to keep our environment clean. One way you can do that is to put all of your green waste into your special mini bin at home. Just like the stickmen say in the city's special Green Cart Smart booklet. When you put your green cart out at the curb, special city trucks collect all the organic things you put inside. Then they bring it all here. In a year, we can receive and process 60,000 tons of stuff. That's like the total weight of an entire skyscraper, sometimes even more. The trucks come in and dump all the stuff we collected on the floor so we can have a look over it to make sure that there isn't anything in there that shouldn't be. Then we use a big bucket loader to scoop it all up and put it in what we call the shredder. The shredder uses big blades and a lot of raw power to chop up and mix everything. It's like a giant blender. When the shredded stuff comes out, it goes onto a conveyor belt and we pass it underneath a very strong magnet to pull out any metal that might have gotten in there by accident. It keeps going along a whole series of conveyor belts, some that can move, and finally, it's dropped in what we call a filling cassette. It spreads all the stuff in even layers over the whole tunnel. When the tunnel is filled up, we close the door and start what we call the composting process. All of the stuff will stay in this first tunnel. We call it the Phase 1 tunnel for 14 days. Tiny microorganisms, you can't even see them without a microscope, go to work breaking down the organic matter into compost. Compost is teeming with living things. The microorganisms need a delicious mix of food and yard waste to munch on. Just like you and me, they need air and water to live and work, so the floor of the tunnel is full of tiny holes so that the air can blow up. And the tunnel also has a sprinkler system so that when the microorganisms are working really hard, we can keep them happy with a nice cold drink. Everything is controlled by computer, and we use the computer to look, at any time, how much air is in there, how wet it is, even how hot it is, because we can't go in there ourselves. It's too hot and stinky. We have to keep the stuff at a very precise temperature for the composting to happen. After 2 weeks, we open up the tunnel. The pile has shrunk a bit and is all steaming because it's so hot. We use a loader to move and mix the stuff to a tunnel in Phase 2, and we do it all over again, but this time for about 7 to 10 days. You might think with all the stinky stuff all over our building that the place and everywhere around us for miles would just reek. But our computer controls all the air that comes in and goes out of our building. And we put all the air that goes out through a machine called an air scrubber and then a biofilter, which is a whole bunch of wood and stuff that takes out the stink so only good smelling air gets out. Then we use another loader, the first one is way too dirty, and take the stuff out of the Phase 2 tunnel through its back door. We dump it up in a big hopper that breaks up all the stuff, and then it gets sent to the screening plant. That's what we call our machine that sucks out any plastic that might have gone in there by accident. And then sorts the stuff into stuff that's too big. The person who runs the screener can set it to pick out the large bits that are too big and then sets them aside to be mixed in with the next batch to be composted. And finish compost. This is compost. The dark earthy stuff is rich in nutrients. The good rich compost is put on the special conveyor belt that starts out flat and then curls up into a tube to carry the compost outside, from this building to the one next door. where it falls out into piles. We let the pile sit for a while, a few days or weeks, to make sure that the compost is all grown up and ready to use. Scientists test it to make sure it's good to go. Then we load it onto trucks and away it goes. It goes all over Ontario and beyond. Some will be used on farms, and some of it will be sold to be used in gardens just like yours at home. Just think, the banana peel you put in your mini bin yesterday could be the compost your family's putting on your garden later on. Thanks for learning about the City of Hamilton's new central composting facility and how we are helping you save our environment.